Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back, and we have Scott Davis here talking about Christmas for our troops. This is a project that has really touched my heart as I've heard more and more about it. And the thing that amazes me is how the word of mouth has gone around the whole Permian Basin, and you have people from New Mexico and way down close to the Rio Grande that are your active workers and helpers.
We have people from all over West Texas and southeastern New Mexico, and have had for years. You know, we had this man who was bringing the items from New Mexico, had his car break down outside of Eunice, and there was a gentleman coming to Midland. Well, actually, he was going to Fort Davis, and found out what we were doing. He took the stuff out of Jimmy's vehicle, put it in his truck, and drove it to Midland, so it reached us in time to be packed. And we've had wonderful donors from Fort Davis and Fort Stockton. We've had people from Imperial send us beanie babies this year.
Oh, tell the woman about the story about the woman with the beanie babies.
Well, we had a lady here in Midland that called me last year and said, do you send beanie babies? And I said, yes, ma'am, I do.
Because you had said we send toys.
Yeah, we send toys. And I said, yes, ma'am, we do. And she said, well, how many do you need? And I said, well, 2,500. She said, I think I can do that. And it turned out she donated between 800 and 900 beanie babies, and they were all brand new. It was just wonderful. She's as sweet as she could be. But we need small town West Texas, all of West Texas, to pitch in and help out, and they always have. You know, we've had people from Andrews and Seminole and Snyder and Big Spring and Big Lake and McCamey and Fort Davis and Fort Stockton and Alpine and Andrews and you know, all over. So this is a West Texas project, and again, we've defined West Texas in a much bigger area, but if you're here in the West Texas area and you see this show, you need to come help in any way that you can. If it means sending us a package of peanuts to go in these boxes, do it.
And the thing about it is our soldiers really are more forgotten now than they have been for a long time. One of the things, though, I love the story about the woman that crocheted these wonderful little tiny Christmas booties, stockings, and then she puts twas the night before Christmas in each one of them. And tell the story about how you got these to put into the.
Well, Cricket called me. Cricket lives in Gainesville. She called 2 years ago, and she said, Mr. Davis, I have crocheted, it was 650 or 750 miniature Christmas stockings that I would like to donate to the troops, but I can't find anybody over here in our area that will do that. Would you guys send these to the troops? And I said, well, yeah, of course. I had sight unseen. She said they were red, white, and blue, and I said, that's great. We'd love to have them. And about a month later, she shows up at the warehouse. She and her husband had driven from Gainesville to Midland with these Christmas stockings. When she left Gainesville, she had 1,000 of them packed neatly in boxes. When she got here, she had 1,010. She just couldn't put down her crocheting needles until she got more into the boxes for us. At the end of this Christmas, she will have made 10,000 of those Christmas stockings. And those that we don't send to Afghanistan, many of them have gone to Brooke Army Medical Center, to the injured guys and gals who were there. So they always go to a special place.
And so the bottom line is that every single thing that's donated, every single dollar goes to the troops. There's no paid staff. There's nobody that takes any money for anything. And at the end, if you had some uneven pieces, if Dollar General or some of these gun companies sent you a few more than you had boxes for, then tell what you do with that.
Well, a lot of times we'll have enough boxes that we can fill in and make extra boxes and send some extra. Sometimes we send boxes to the hospital units with some extra medical kind of stuff, but also the items that are carryover items that are non-perishable. And if we have a few too many, we simply put them in the storeroom and save them. And there are times during the year that we may get an APO from somebody, and perhaps we'll have 20 knives and we get a platoon. So we'll send 20 knives to a platoon just so everybody gets a pocket knife. They don't get a Christmas box. But we've done things during the year. We've sent, some years ago, we made an effort to send fresh cookies at Valentine's to a young lieutenant and his platoon. This lieutenant's brother, who was also a lieutenant at the time, had his back broken in Baghdad. And we kind of felt like little brother by 5 minutes. He and his platoon needed a little something as a boost, so we asked the Aggie moms to bake Christmas or Valentine's cookies. And they called us and said, we've got 42 dozen cookies. And when we went to pick them up, they were still hot. So we vacuum sealed them and sent them in boxes to that platoon.
So this is in some aspects become a year-round project.
Yeah.
For the core people that are working on
Yeah.
it. But what we're asking for is this very short time frame
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now, between now and December.
Yeah, we have a huge goal,
First.
and we need a lot of help, and we need lots of APOs. We need people to go to the website and look at the list. It's a very specific list. If it says, as I said, if it says Kleenexes, that doesn't mean a big box of Kleenex. It means the pocket size.
Read the dimensions.
Read what it says, because oftentimes people are very generous and they'll donate big things, and the big things won't go in the boxes, and we ultimately end up donating them to the battered women or some other charity here in town that can use those items. They're not wasted, but they're not being shipped if they're not the right size.
For the intent that donor intended for them too. And the other thing that the feedback from the last time you were here was that they didn't understand that they could give names of their relatives or friends that lived anywhere in the United States. It did not have to be soldiers and
Marines, airmen, sailors.
Anybody from a particular, nor age. It can be the youngest to the staff sergeant that's been in the military for a long time.
Yeah, we want everybody, and West Texas includes all of the United States. So anybody that you know who is serving in the military in Afghanistan right now, I don't care if that person is from New York City or Honolulu, send us their name and their APO, and if you know how many people are in that person's platoon, let us know, and we'll make sure that every single person in that platoon gets a box under that one man or one woman's name, and that one person can
And
get
how
it.
do they know where this came from?
There will be one of our business cards in there, and of course the return address label is on there.
Okay, so you don't put this history about
No, we don't. We'll put a nice little letter in there oftentimes, just to thank them for what they do.
And so they know that these are school children, these are handmade. See, there's so many ways you can be involved in this project, and it'll make you feel so wonderful. I want to thank Scott Davis and his cadre of very enthusiastic volunteers that have worked so hard for the last 10 years and have refined this process so that every dollar, every gift, everything, every bit of time and effort goes directly to that soldier or to that Marine or to that shipman that is there to receive sometimes the only gift they get at Christmas. We'll see you tomorrow, next Sunday with another program. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB TV and KWES TV.